Good afternoon, and welcome to today's match of the 2023 Okaloosa Schools Academic Tournament. This year we have 7 schools from Okaloosa County going head-to-head in a double elimination tournament. These standout students will be displaying their knowledge of math, science, history, fine arts and literature, pop culture, and more to determine our tournament champion for 2023. I'm your host and moderator, Stella Verswyvelt. Lisa Nall will be our timekeeper and scorekeeper, while Eirik Zeller Bernal and Nathan Fiorino will serve as our chief judges and make the final decisions on all things official. Eirik Zeller Bernal is a flight test engineer with a background in mechanical engineering and optimization techniques. He works on the test and evaluation of air-to-ground weapons at Eglin Air Force Base. Nathan Fiorino is a first lieutenant in the United States Air Force working as a developmental engineer in the Armament Directorate at Eglin Air Force Base. This is his first assignment as an active duty officer. He has a background in aerospace engineering with a bachelor's from The Ohio State University and master's from the Air Force Institute of Technology. Today's teams are from Niceville High School and Fort Walton Beach High School. We're going to take a quick break to hear from our different Okaloosa schools, and we'll be back shortly to introduce the teams. Stay tuned.
I chose to come to collegiate high school because you get free college and your high school diploma at the same time, and that's the best opportunity for any high school student.
I wanted to grow as an individual, and so I decided to move here to not be grouped into these different categories that you'd find in like traditional high schools.
I came to collegiate because I wanted to get used to college work and just being in a college environment before I actually move on to a bigger university.
The thing that makes Collegiate High different from other schools in Okaloosa County is that we're a small school. Students that attend the Collegiate High School are not just a number. We know students by name because of the small school atmosphere.
So what's great about this school is that all the faculty are here to help you.
They want them to excel in their academic life and personal life.
At the other schools, I felt like I wasn't quite being challenged enough in all the fields, but here it's like, you have teachers that teach you well, and they teach you what's going to be applied in the future.
Many students think that if you go to collegiate, you can't play sports, you can't be in music, you can't be a high school student, but I still went to homecoming. I still went to the football games, I had fun with all my friends, and collegiate doesn't take that away from you. It adds on to your amazing personality.
In order to be successful at Collegiate High School, motivation, student motivation. You have to be academically motivated because you'll be academically challenged.
But when you go to a university, they'll see that you're dedicated and you're willing to take the course load that you'll be taking.
Let's say if you come one thought. This thought is that you are unstoppable. Because if you come here thinking, there's going to be too much work, there will be. It's not an easy school, it's a tough school. But you're going to come, and if you come thinking that nothing will stop, you will be successful, and you will be a college student.
Welcome back. Let's go ahead and introduce our coaches and our team members for today's match. From Niceville High School, Mr. Justin Reichert. And let's meet their teams.
Kira Tupper, Jr.
Adam Jarvis, Jr.
Kendall Small, Senior.
Nick Ford, Senior.
From Fort Walton Beach High School, Ms. Aurelia Bunescu, and let's meet their teams.
Kira Quinn, Senior.
Ivan Gutierrez, Senior.
William Kiker, Sophomore.
David Starr, Senior.
Okay, now we're ready for toss-up question number 1. The subject is history. The United States stations more troops in this country than in any other Arab nation, even Iraq. This country became independent from England in 1961 and has been ruled by the Al Sabah family ever since. Name this small nation on the Persian Gulf whose invasion by Iraq in 1989.
Kuwait.
That's correct. Your bonus question is in fine arts. This musical piece begins with the Latin words for O fortune, just as the moon you are changeable, ever waxing and waning. Part A. Identify this militant-sounding piece taken from a medieval poem and set to music by a 20th century German composer.
O Fortuna, I think.
Oh, yeah.
O Fortuna?
That is incorrect. The answer is Carmina Burana. Part B, name the composer.
I don't know. I always say Strauss, so.
Strauss?
That is incorrect. It's Karl Orff. Toss-up question number 2 is in literature. This state is the setting of the Betsy Tacy novels and of the book In the Little House series set in its town of Walnut Grove. This state also contains the fictional Sinclair Lewis town of Gopher Prairie and the fictional Garrison Keillor town of Lake Wobegon. Identify this Midwest state that is also the setting for The Immigrant's Suite, a set of novels about Swedish immigrants there. Niceville.
Kansas.
That is incorrect. For Walton Beach?
Minnesota.
That's correct. Your bonus question is in social sciences. Give these election-related words from definitions by the U.S. Election Assistance Commission. Part A, a locked container, either indoor or outdoor, where voters can return a mailed ballot for collection directly by an election official.
So what, ballot drop box?
I would just say ballot box.
You can return a mail-in ballot.
Ballot drop box?
Judges? That's correct. The answer was drop box, but the judges deemed that appropriate. Okay, Part B, a ballot cast by a voter other than in person on election day.
Mail it.
Or does it want absentee?
Ooh, that might be it.
In person on election. I think absentee. I don't know. Like
Sure.
an early vote wouldn't count absentee.
Absentee?
That's correct. Toss-up number 3, the subject is math. Pencils and paper ready. A right triangle has a hypotenuse of length 16 feet and a 60-degree angle between the base and the hypotenuse. In square root form, what is the triangle's height? Niceville.
8 times the square root of 3.
That's correct. Your bonus is in science. Give the physics terms for these food forces. Part A. Squish each end of the long side of a loaf of bread toward the middle at the same time.
Compress.
Yeah, compressing.
Compress.
Judges?
Yeah.
Yes. The answer is compression force, but that was correct by the judges. Okay, Part B. Pull the two ends of a biscuit away from each other until the biscuit breaks in two.
Tensile force.
Tensile force.
Could you repeat
Tensile force.
that? Judges? The correct answer is tension force. Okay. Toss-up number 4 is in fine arts. A museum in Bogota, Colombia has more than 34,000 artworks containing this substance, including a container used for storing the lime chewed along the cocoa leaves, many pieces made of this metal in combination with copper, and the Muisca raft that inspired the legend of El Dorado. Name this precious metal. Niceville.
Gold.
That's correct. Your bonus is in literature. Name these Jane Austen heroines from the men they marry. Either first or last name is acceptable. Part A, Colonel Brandon.
Emma?
Sure.
Emma.
That's incorrect. It's Marion Dashwood. Part B, Henry Tilney.
Sure.
Emma.
That is incorrect. The name is Catherine Morland. Toss-up number 5 is in science. Made of thyroid cartilage that wraps around the front of your voice box, this body part is typically larger. Niceville.
Neck.
That is incorrect. I will repeat the question for Walton Beach. Made of thyroid cartilage that wraps around the front of your voice box, this body part is typically larger in men because men usually have larger voice boxes. Connected to the cricoid cartilage that wraps around your windpipe, what body part gets its common two-word name for Walton?
Adam's apple.
That's correct. Your bonus is a miscellaneous subject. Identify these 2022 inductees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Part A. His albums include the Slim Shady LP and the Marshall Mathers LP.
Eminem.
That is correct. Part B. This British band featuring lead singer Simon Le Bon had hits like Rio, Hungry Like the Wolf, Girls on Film, and the title song for the James Bond movie A View to a Kill.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry. It's
I don't know, U2 or something?
No, I have no idea. I can't remember off the top of my head.
No.
Go with Donovan.
Donovan.
That is incorrect. The answer is Duran Duran. All right, toss-up number 6 is in social sciences. Concepts that this religion shares with other faiths include dukkha, or suffering, ahimsa, or nonviolence, and samsara, or rebirth. Name this Asian religion whose text known as the Niceville?
Hinduism.
That is incorrect. I'll repeat the question for Walton Beach. Concepts that this religion shares with other faiths include dukkha, or suffering, ahimsa, or nonviolence, and samsara, or rebirth. Name this Asian religion whose texts known as the Tripitaka also use terms like bodhisattva, karma, and nirvana. For Walton.
Buddhism?
That's correct. Your bonus is in literature. Name the 20th century American authors of these stream of consciousness novels. Part A, On the Road.
Frost, I guess.
Frost.
That is incorrect. The answer is Jack Kerouac. Part B is Beloved.
I'm gonna guess Frost again.
That's not it, for sure.
Frost.
That is incorrect. The answer is Toni Morrison. Okay, toss-up number 7 is in history. This agency, established during the Civil War, got its current name in 1953. In 2022, Congress passed a bill allowing this agency to hire up to 87,000.
The IRS?
That is correct. For Walton, your bonus is in math. Pencils and paper ready. Give the indefinite integrals of these expressions. Part A, 3x squared minus 10x plus 11.
I'm getting
5x squared plus 11x.
Yep. X cubed. You got x cubed. You got x cubed minus 5x squared plus 11x.
Just go with it.
3/4 x to the power of 4 minus 5x squared plus 11x plus c.
That is incorrect. Part B is 3/8 e to the 6x power.
3/4 x e
That's
to the
That's just, you add an x on the end of it because it's constant.
X e to the 6th power.
Plus c, yeah.
3/8.
Yeah, just go with it.
I defer to Kira.
3/8 e to the 6th x plus c.
Can you repeat that?
3/8 times e to the 6th times x plus c.
That is incorrect. The answer is 1/16 times e to the 6x plus c. And going back to part A, the answer was x cubed minus 5x squared plus 11x plus c. That's the end of the first half. We'll be back with the scores after these messages. Welcome back. We have a halftime score of Niceville 20 and Fort Walton Beach 80. We have 2 substitutions for Niceville, and now the students will introduce themselves.
Vivian Price, senior.
Jermaine Matheson, junior.
All right, let's begin the second half. Toss-up number 8 is in social sciences. The northeastern part of this country contains a kasarabe, area near the Amazon River that refused to submit to the Incas and is now thought to inspire the legend of El Dorado. Name this largest landlocked country in South America. Niceville.
Bolivia.
That's correct. Your bonus is in science. Tell the number of dots each of the symbols for these chemical elements should have in the Lewis diagram. Part A is argon.
Oh, is it 8? Yeah.
8.
That's correct. Part B is aluminum.
Aluminum. 3.
3.
That's also correct.
Good job.
All right, toss-up number 9 is in literature. This man's poetic subjects included Renaissance painters Andrea del Sarto and Fra Filippo Lippi. Famed for his long poem, The Ring and the Book, what 19th century British poet, who also wrote My Last Duchess, was the husband, Niceville?
Robert Browning.
That's correct. Your bonus is in history. Name these African countries from their rebel groups within these countries. In cases where the group is set up in multiple countries, give any one country dealing with it. The first one, part A, is Boko Haram.
Somalia.
That's incorrect. The answers were Nigeria or Chad or Niger. Part B, the Al-Shabaab or Ansar al-Sunna group operating in its province of Cabo Delgado.
Something owned by the Spanish, maybe something that's currently Muslim.
I would think something closer to
Angola. Mozambique is my guess.
Time.
Mozambique.
Was past the time. That was the correct answer, though. Toss-up number 10 is a miscellaneous subject. Begun by teachers at Virginia Tech, this group's members may receive awards for their experiments in agri-science research and often wear a blue corduroy jacket. Identify this youth organization or its acronym whose career development events include dairy, horse and livestock evaluation, and Niceville.
4-H.
No, that is incorrect. I will repeat the question for Walton Beach. Begun by teachers at Virginia Tech, this group's members may receive awards for their experiments in agri-science research and often wear a blue corduroy jacket. Identify this youth organization or its acronym whose career development events include dairy, horse and livestock evaluation, and that prepare students for leadership and careers in the science, business, and technology of agriculture.
FFA?
That's correct. Future Farmers of America. Your bonus is in language arts. Tell which of your 5 senses is referenced by these vocabulary words. Part A is olfactory.
Nose.
Nose.
Yeah. Nose.
Nose. Smell. Smell.
Smell.
Should we take that?
What was the answer?
He said nose first, but then smell.
Well, if he said nose first, then no.
Okay. It is smell. Okay. So the senses, right? Okay. Part B is gustatory.
Gustatory.
I want to say your.
I want to say taste.
Sure.
Taste?
That's correct. Okay. Toss-up number 11 is in history. This group's official flag is divided in half horizontally with the top half black and the bottom half red and a yellow circle in the center. In 2022, agreements were reached for this group's flag to be displayed on the Sydney Harbour Bridge and for the flag's copyright to be transferred to the Australian government. Give the most common term for this group of people indigenous to us.
Aborigine?
That's correct. Your bonus is in math. Pencils and paper ready. Calculate these quantities. The cube root of 64 times y to the 15th power.
Well, cube root of 64 is 8. And then 15th would be y to the 5th. 8y to the 5th. Time is coming. Come on.
Yeah, I think so.
Just say it. Just say it. Just say it. Just say it. Just say it.
8y to the 5th.
That is incorrect. It's 4y to the 5th. Oh, shoot. Part B, the 4th root of 16 w to the 8th power z to the 16th power.
To the 16th. W to the 2, Z 4, and that would be 2W squared Z to the 4th.
I defer to Kira.
2W squared Z to the 4th.
That is correct. Okay, toss-up number 12 is in language arts. One meaning of this word from the Greek for topmost word is an abbreviation created by the first letters of words, such as FBI for Federal Bureau of Investigation, Niceville.
Acronym.
Acronym is correct. Your bonus is in social sciences. In 2022, the Vistula Spit Canal was completed, connecting the Vistula Lagoon with the Gulf of Gdansk. Part A, name the European country where this canal is located.
Poland.
That's correct. Part B, ships in the lagoon can now more easily reach this sea north of Poland.
Baltic.
That's correct.
Nice. Good job.
Toss-up number 13 is in science. This metallic element strengthens aluminum alloys when added in tiny amounts and usually has a +3 oxidation number, especially when combined with oxygen. Identify this first transition element in the periodic table, an element called ekaboron by Mendeleev before it was discovered, and that it is named for the Nordic countries Sweden, Finland, and Norway.
Scandium.
That is correct. For Walton, your bonus is in history. Answer these about Jefferson Davis, the Confederacy's only president. Part A, he was the Secretary of War in the 1850s. Today we call his position by this title.
The Secretary of Defense. Right?
Secretary of Defense or
I
General?
think Secretary of Defense.
Yeah.
Secretary of Defense.
That's correct. Part B, he is carved into this Georgia mountain along with Robert E. Lee and General Jackson.
I think it's Stone Mountain, right?
I'm not sure. Whatever you said.
Sure, yeah, why not?
Stone Mountain.
That's correct. Toss-up number 14 is in math. Pencils and paper ready. A monthly bill consists of an $8 service fee plus $4 per 1,000 gallons used. Give an expression to calculate the monthly bill if S is the service fee and W is the number of thousands. Fort Walton?
8S plus 4W.
That is correct. Your bonus,
What did she say?
I'm sorry, repeat your answer.
8S plus 4W.
That is incorrect. That is incorrect. I'm sorry about that. I will repeat the question for Niceville. Pencils and paper ready. A monthly bill consists of an $8 service fee plus $4 per 1,000 gallons used. Give an expression to calculate the monthly bill if S is the service fee and W is the number of thousands of gallons used. Niceville.
S plus 4W.
No, that is incorrect. It's S equals 4W plus 8. We were looking for the equation of S, for S. Okay, moving on to toss-up 15. It's in social sciences. This amendment requires a grand jury indictment for serious crimes and also requires that private land be paid for if taken by the government for public use. Which constitutional amendment that requires due process? Niceville.
Eminent domain.
That is incorrect. This amendment, I'm going to start the question over for Fort Walton. This amendment requires a grand jury indictment for serious crimes and also requires that private land be paid for if taken by the government for public use. Which constitutional amendment that requires due process before being deprived of life, liberty, or property also prevents double jeopardy and keeps a person from having to testify against himself?
The Fifth Amendment?
That's correct. Fort Walton, your bonus is in science. Complete these phrases that begin heat of. The heat, part A. The heat released when cement mixes with water.
Combustion.
I have no
It'll
idea.
be-
Combust.
Yeah.
How would it combust?
Just do it, I don't know.
Combustion.
That is incorrect. It's heat of hydration. Part B. The change in enthalpy of a substance when it melts.
That one
Heat
might
of
be
transfer.
delicious.
Heat of transfer. So you got it.
Transfer?
That is incorrect. It's heat of fusion. That's the end of the match. We'll be back in a few minutes to announce the final scores.
My score is messed up.
We have a final score of Niceville 80, Fort Walton 155. Thank you to all the students who participated in today's match, and thank you viewers for tuning in to watch this exciting event. We'd also like to thank our corporate sponsors, Microsystems Incorporated and Master Wall Incorporated. Stay tuned next time for further tournament action, and good night.